P.O.C. I see entity that's group stalking by helicopter, flying right over the apartment. And I just want to be clear: the demons that you see with the in parking spot number 18, excuse me, number 19 is going to federal prison. The one parking in parking spot number 20 is going to federal prison, and they're doing so while I'm inside of my apartment. The one that's already documented group stalking with the Ontario PD, which they're doing right now in apartment 41, is being documented. And this is exactly where I stood at 2:41 in the afternoon yesterday. This is what the Ontario police, the rest of the state, is monitoring pursuant to Title 18 while I'm standing at the same location. And you saw my shadow up right here. The fake sun is over me in the same manner on this side of the apartment building because the entity is rising the fake sun and setting it as I remain at one location. So here it is at 10 in the morning. Currently it's 10:43 a.m. where the Ontario International Airport's engaged in state surveillance with the Ontario Police Department flying over the property in the specific environment where the fake sun rises and sets. And the demons that you saw in the previous video are crossing path, walking into apartment 41, accessing the vehicle of parking spot number 819, driving, which is a method of crossing a path. The demonic pacing is what you're seeing while they're in their vehicles, lying in wait, group stalking in the specific environment on the ground space. And Ontario International Airport is group stalking, and the demon that's the vendor that's on the grounds is also engaged in that P.O.C. while the impossible light activity fills the apartment. While I'm on video capturing very damning evidence again, the entity, just like you saw at 2 and 3 in the morning, flying over the apartment, while I have the same upright shadows at nightfall, which has nothing to do with these lights on the building, while the entity is engaging in the same conduct with the demons of apartment 41 who are sitting with minor children engaging in terrorism, and the OPD, just like they did right now, flying over the apartment at the same time that I'm documenting the evidence that's going to be used against them. The demon that's in parking spot number 20 and number 19, the demon who's represented by the vendor vehicle who's crossing path in the burgundy outfit, are all going to federal prison, okay? And so is the demon, the prosecution of Alan D. Wapner, the prosecution of Mike Lorenz. The Ontario Police Department are engaged in that conduct while federal stalking remains underway. The entity is doing so 24 hours a day, and I just want to be clear, Avanaf Communities is fully engaged in that terrorism. They're group stalking in relevant position inside of the apartment under a fake sun that's remaining at this same property after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Where being under the sun will never create your upright shadow at a distance away from you, and as I document, the entity engages in more terrorism to the demise of the people. Okay, 8WMUC, I believe. I'm going to recall that document's license plate because they're going to federal prison while they're being documented. The entity engages in terrorizing American citizens while they're engaged in federal stalking and group stalking with that entity. These are sex offenders. A police department, an airport, a population of females and males keeping a woman under surveillance is a sex offense committed by the entity. And the city of Ontario, that also knows that it's being documented, placed a letter dated September 9, 2024 on the front door where the entity wants to engage in an inspection, abusing the authority that it has as the municipality, which it doesn't include federal stalking and also group stalking while it's being documented. So I just want to make sure that I'm documenting that. I took an image of the city of Ontario that doesn't have any authority while they're engaged in state surveillance and harassment with the entity that's stalking in helicopter. The sound of that helicopter is audible activity, relevant positioning, and it's also with the criminal purpose to obstruct justice. That's why they're going to federal prison. The demons in those parking spots, I'm going to document. This video is going on the podcast, but I'm also going to recite the license plates because those in particular are going to federal prison. Okay, this is the ongoing pattern. This is what they're doing with apartment number 41 as I'm documenting those demons, and they know it, and so does the state. They immediately arrive flying over me, terrorizing, harassing, and psychologically torturing, which is the pattern of conduct as you document them engaging in the psychotic, barbaric, animalistic P.O.C. while they're keeping me under surveillance, and they listen to the truth about their exposure and their impending prosecution. The entity engages in more of that criminal activity, for which Mike Lorenz is not going to be chief of police anymore. This is a pattern of conduct that's underway throughout the state, and the entire department, including that demon that's calling themselves the chief of police, is fully aware of that. And it's the same with regard to the condition, the knowledge, and the criminal conduct facilitating group stalking by the demon that is over the president of the Ontario International Airport, who's fully engaged in the same terrorism, crossing path group stalking with the population who are the people, while engaged in Title 18 federal stalking, designed to terrorize an American citizen whom they're keeping under surveillance. Everything happening inside of this apartment is public information. So I just want to make sure that I'm capturing that video. The sound of the helicopter is the presence of the entity group stalking in the helicopter at the same venue where you saw that helicopter flying directly over my apartment at 6 p.m. And this fake sun is right here at 6 p.m. in alignment to me, where the people of the state are group stalking Woodside Senior Apartments. 144 units are documented terrorists, and they will be prosecuted accordingly. The entity is group stalking as a population where the center of the universe is now remaining over a senior citizen complex, where the entity is violating zoning laws, hovering and flying in circles and repeatedly pacing over in commercial planes and helicopters, and doing so in a manner pursuant to knowledge of what's being documented on my cell phone on the internet, which is relevant for the criminal criminal prosecution, the federal imprisonment of that entity, both the demons stalking in the helicopters, the demons stalking in planes, the demons that are in positions of leadership over said department and airport, and also the people of the state who are being documented. Okay, I'm going to recite those license plates because those elderly people are going to federal prison. It is currently 10:48 a.m. This is P.O.C.